whose results we're going to come back to that, because that's going to be standout.
Absolutely. Right now, it's going to be headquarters tonight in Brisbane. Look at the cases there with Andy called it a little earlier. Peter Dutton lost to Steve Dixon. So the question of leadership comes up. I can't imagine what the feeling must be in that room there. You're a well-plugged-in reporter as well. This now means it's a leadership question open for the Liberal Party.
Coalition were never the favourites, but for a while there, it did look like they could make history and turf out the first term of government for the first time since 1931 of the Great Depression. Tonight, though, that hill has proved a mountain. The mood in this room right now, I've got to say, is more reflective and less sombre than it had been in 2022. I was at Liberal HQ at that election then as well, and we're not seeing the kinds of tears that we saw at that point in time. But perhaps the sheer enormity of this bulletin haven't quite sunk in yet. And when we look at this, I mean, it's the stark contrast to the end of last year when the coalition was riding high in the polls. I don't think we can overstate the impact of Donald Trump on this election. He has been toxic to centre-right governments across the world. And the coalition, they tell me that their support has just tanked ever since his inauguration, and it continued to dive ever since as well that extraordinary meeting between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky with Donald Trump in the Oval Office. Speaking with coalition sources this week, they have expectations of really blunting Labor's majority. That has not happened at all. There is deep frustration with the campaign as a whole, its lack of cohesiveness, a lack of message, but also, more than that, the policy formulation. I mean, as we saw with the working from home backflip, essentially a lot of this, we did see the female vote tanking as well for the Liberals. Ultimately, it backfired in a lot of those outer metropolitan seats that they were actually trying to pick up. Also speaking with Liberal sources within yesterday, essentially they were trying to say that what was the front bench doing over the past 3 years? They weren't happy with what came forward. Ultimately, they wanted the next front bench to be based on performance and not on loyalty, and clearly Peter Dutton hasn't done enough to retain the seat.
No, that is a huge blow indeed. Olivia, thank you. And that question of the Liberal leadership will now be a very live one. Some of the names already being discussed, according to people like Angus Taylor, Andrew Hastie, Dan Tear, should he hold his seat.
It looks like there's someone on AEC guy, it looks like he's still on.
Yeah,
just as I wouldn't expect to have these moments with that, so
let's check in with Jeremy Fernandez on the big board to the seats that are changing hands. Jeremy.
It has been a while since we took over the big board, and I did promise you when it came, it would be a flood, and it has arrived in the most dramatic way. Now, let me just take you back to the start of the night. I told you, the coalition had 57 seats, they needed to gain 19. And look at the shape of this board, how the colours on this side have diminished, and the colours on this side have gained. Let's just go through them. How Labor has shut the door to the coalition being able to claim victory here. This is the column of Labor nationals. They have held to every single one of these people. Only a few blanks here, but we can tag using this demonstrated account. Is it quite high enough for us to be able to project a winner in those seats? Now, we go further this way. We've got Bean going to Jesse Price, but otherwise, Labor's largely hung on to this side of the board. Richmond, the count is still advancing there. We're not in a position to be able to give that away just yet, but certainly on the count as it is right now, we're looking at Richmond. The Greens are here in Richmond. Now let's take a look at the crossbench. The crossbench largely staying the same. However, the seat of Brisbane has gone from the LNP to the Greens, and now looking like it's gone to Labor. One seat they worked very, very hard to gain with the Greens. It's the same for Griffith as well. Griffith, they had gone very hard on campaigning there. Labor has gained Griffith, it looks like, as well. Now let's talk about the incursion onto the coalition side of the board. This is perhaps the story of the night. Dixon, which we entered the most marginal seats in the coalition sides. I'm talking about Deakin, Bellamy Estate, flipping those red banks, flipping red banks like that, where Ryan Inch is departing office, right into Petrie on a swing of nearly 9%. That is how far Labor has reached into the coalition side of the board. And so when you think about how many seats the coalition will need to gain for this side of doors closing here, doors closing here, and doors closing on its own turf as well. So that is the state of play in the board. There are 150 seats. We're still waiting for numbers to come in. But this is looking like a very, very strong night for them.
Jeremy, thank you. There are so many interesting, detailed stories when you look at that board, and one that jumped out to me there, Max Chamberlain losing Griffith by the looks of that as well. That's been a fascinating contest to watch more of this unfold.
I think that over the course of the last couple of months, that was the seat that was expected absolutely to be held on to by the Greens, and that the other two in Brisbane went away. So that's
I think we've got Northern Territory Senator Jacinta Price. Jacinta, tonight was nice to see the progress of Donald Trump make Australia great again. Are you part of the reason for that loss?
That's a big call, don't you think? I mean, you sling enough mud in an election, it stinks. And you didn't see a Prime Minister who absolutely misled the Australian people all the way through and was rarely called out for his conduct. And I think that's absolutely deceitful.
But Jacinta, let's just talk about this. Let's just talk about this seriously. At a time when Donald Trump was sending shockwaves around the world,
Seriously.
it's not a smear campaign. I want you to address it seriously, Jacinta. At the time that Donald Trump was sending shockwaves around the world, disturbing.
If you don't think that I'm addressing this seriously, I am addressing this deadly seriously. In that if you sling enough mud, it will stick. And absolutely, Labor, certainly the media, has slung enough mud in terms of this particular issue. It made it all about Donald Trump. We really couldn't care less about the way Donald Trump is governing from America and the concern that he can play. Australia's being governed under
Jacinta Price,
we all know the situation's not going to get any better going forward. It's not going to get any better.
Let's just talk about this sensibly, Jacinta. We saw you wearing a Make Australia Great Again hat at a time when Donald Trump was poison to the world. We saw you give a speech in which you used a Donald Trump value statement to make Australia great again. So can I come back to the question? Are you partly responsible for Labor's loss of his seat?
Let me come back to the question. There's a whole lot of mud that is slung right there, can I just say, in terms of wanting this country to be great. Donald Trump doesn't own those 4 words, right? Because the media can go through your personal Facebook photos and find a picture that was taken in jest at Christmas time and then smear you with it. That is the problem. That is the issue. That is the smearing that goes on, certainly within the media, just as you're trying to say, take this seriously. I'm deadly serious about this issue. What I'm deadly serious about is that here in Lingiari, Aboriginal people are going to continue to be marginalised. The gap is going to get wider because we take an ideological approach to all of these issues, and Labor will continue to do that. They'll invest money in organisations and not listen to the little people on the ground. But I'll continue to fight for those people who actually want to be heard, those forgotten people where Labor, and you know, if you want to take things seriously, perhaps send an investigative journalist out and watch what occurs in remote polling booths. The AEC has been alerted to this over and over and do very little to deal with that situation. I urge the ABC, as a taxpayer-funded organisation, to go out to remote communities and see for yourself exactly what occurs. Because I'm deadly serious about the situation. And if you think things are bad right now in terms of the cost of living, it's only going to get worse going forward. But what I do know is that if you sling enough mud in a campaign, it sticks. And if you mislead the Australian people over again, absolutely learn from what's occurred during this campaign.
Senator Price, it's very different here. I mean, look, by all accounts, this has been a disastrous campaign for you. You're putting it down to media, but what went wrong from your perspective?
Well, look, I would have to say that certainly we could have provided our policies sooner to the Australian people to have a better understanding of what we need to do to support Australians better than what the Albanese government has done. We could have pulled back his lies earlier on the piece and instead of later on the piece. Absolutely, we could have done that. But we will learn more as we go forward as to the mistakes we've made and own those mistakes and make sure that we don't repeat them going forward because ultimately it's how Australians will go going forward. That's our greatest concern, but it doesn't mean we stop doing what we're doing and fighting for Australians.
Tell us what you're seeing in Solomon tonight. This seems to be one seat that's bucking the trend, sliding towards the country Liberal Party tonight.
Yeah, look, I mean, we did see, obviously, in the northern suburbs of Darwin during the territory election, a huge swing wiping out Labor in the northern suburbs. And we did have our first Green ever in the Territory Parliament. But, crime's a huge issue right throughout the Northern Territory, and that is one, it's obviously the stabbing death of the shop owner in Nightcliff, just the other week. And those issues, a lot of Territorians are doing it bloody tough and they're feeling the impacts of things like crime. So, that is why we're getting that swing in terms of Solomon.
All right, Senator Jacinta Price, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.
We are going to check in now with Dan Tehan at his seat of Guam. As we mentioned, we're keeping up with Guam. Who will be the Liberal leader? Castle.
This for the seat of Wannon in regional Victoria. The last seat of the seat was of a lot of interest because the Republican Independent some Dantians standing by to speak to us. Let's first have a look at the figures. Dantian is on 43.1%. He's in good shape. Alex Dyson is just under the third. I want to show you the change in vote on this seat just to show you what's happened here. Alex Dyson is up just over 11%. He has seen substantial growth in his primary vote, but Dantian's vote is only down by 1.1%. We do have to show you because Alex Dyson's on the third. It's actually shaping up as a small swing at the moment to Dantian. He's in very good shape to be re-elected as a member for Bollywood.
Now to talk to Dan Tehan, good news for you in your seat. That was a highly contested seat, but disastrous news for the Liberal Party.
Absolutely. Can I just say to all my colleagues who have lost their seats tonight, thank you for service to the party. Thank you for the service for the good party international. And more generally, to everyone else who has lost their seats tonight, thank you for being a part of the democratic process. This job is getting harder and harder, and for anyone who puts their hand up, I think they could achieve in particular something pretty dark. Being part of the day and understanding that you're not going to lose. So thank you for your leadership over the last 7 years. You picked us up after 9 years in government in the most difficult circumstances, first time in our position. You guided us
Holding this up, so people who need to do a last white balance, please do your last white balance now. If you have one of those great elbow placards and you're in the middle, you need to move to the side a bit, because when you hold them up, you block our cameras. Not that we don't love you, either hand them to your mates or move to the side a bit yourself, okay? Thank you. So testing 1, 2, 6, 8, 20. Are we happy? Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is this going out to the world? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, by the things. Yes. Yes. Are we there? I can go. Splits are happy?
That'll be fine. It's good.
Thank you, friends. Thank you all. Thank you for believing in Labor. Thank you for believing in the power of this great nation. The power in our 26 million people from more than 300 ancestries. And from the oldest continuing civilisation on the planet. And I acknowledge the traditional owners. Friends, we love this country. We love this country. And representing it to the world is the honour of my life. Because of who we are and what we strive to be. A nation that stands on its own 2 feet, that invests in the aspirations of all of its people, and a nation of courage and of kindness. I saw this purpose and these principles in our campaign across the country. Our hard-working candidates, the thousands of Labor volunteers in every state and territory, in every community, working for a better future. Friends, 3 years ago, the Australian people made a collective decision to turn the page and write a new future for ourselves. Tonight, together, we start the new chapter. And we will write this next chapter so all Australians are part of our nation's story. No matter who we are or where we come from, no matter age or gender, no matter the lottery of birth, Australia's opportunity is for us all. And friends, that Australian story is embodied by our Australian Prime Minister, a man who shows what real strength is, a man of courage, a man of compassion, a leader with the conviction of who we are and what we can be, a leader with a conviction that builds Australia's future. Friends, some might want to mimic the worst of other countries. Albo always backs what's best about our country. Please welcome my dear friend, our Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese.
My fellow Australians, serving as your Prime Minister is the greatest honour of my life. And it is with a deep sense of humility and a profound sense of responsibility that the first thing that I do tonight is to say thank you to the people of Australia for the chance to continue to serve the best nation on earth. and I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet. And I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging today and every day. Today, the Australian people have voted for Australian values, for fairness, aspiration and opportunity for all, for the strength to show courage in adversity and kindness to those in need. And Australians have voted for a future that holds true to these values, a future built on everything that brings us together as Australians and everything that sets our nation apart from the world. In this time of global uncertainty, Australians have chosen optimism and determination. Australians have chosen to face global challenges the Australian way, looking after each other while building for the future. And to serve these values, meet these challenges, seize these opportunities and build that better and stronger future, Australians have chosen a majority Labor government. I think the Australian people have got the name. A majority Labor government promised and delivered. A short time ago, I spoke with Peter Dutton, who has, of course, conceded defeat. And I thanked him. No. What we do in Australia is we treat people with respect. I thanked Peter for his generous words at the end of what has been a very hard-fought campaign. And I want to take this opportunity to wish Peter and Kiralee and their family all the very best for their future. Now, at election time, parties and candidates ask people to make a choice. And inevitably, the campaign and the coverage is about our differences and our disagreements. That is the nature of our democracy, and it is the role of the media who serve it. But now that the Australian people have made their clear choice, let us all reflect on what we have in common. Because no matter who you voted for, no matter where you live, no matter how you worship or who you love, whether you belong to a culture that has known and cared for this great continent for 65,000 years, or you have chosen our nation as your home and enriched our society with your contribution, we are all Australians. So let all of us work together to build our national unity on the enduring foundations of fairness, equality and respect for one another. My fellow Australians, I know the world has thrown a lot at our country over the past 3 years. I know so many of you have worked hard in the face of significant challenges, and I know there's still much more to do to help people under pressure. That is why it means so much that in these uncertain times, the people of Australia have placed their trust in Labor once again. including so many Australians who have voted Labor for the first time. I make this solemn pledge. We will not forget that. We will never take it for granted. Repaying your trust will drive our government each and every day of the next 3 years. The positive program we took to this election was shaped by the Australian people's priorities, and our government will dedicate the next 3 years to making a positive difference to your lives and to your future, bringing the rewards for your hard work within reach, investing in our youngest Australians, looking after older Australians, and building an economy and a society that is every bit as strong and fair, as resilient and generous as Australians are themselves. From tomorrow, back at work. Maybe not everyone here. And that's probably for the best. We take up this task with new hope, new confidence and new determination. Because together we are turning the corner, and together we will make our way forward with no one held back and no one left behind. Friends, I was raised to be an optimist. My mum had a hard life and we struggled financially. But she taught me to always be positive and see the best in people. When it comes to Australia's future, all of us have so much reason to be optimistic. Because when we look at everything going on around the world today, when we consider the changes that will shape the future of the global economy, when we think about our people and their smarts and skills, truly there's nowhere else you'd rather be than right here in Australia. This is a time of profound opportunity for our nation. We have everything we need to seize this moment and make it our own, and we must do it together, all of us, because for Australia to realise our full potential, for our nation to be its very best, every Australian must have the opportunity to be their best. To serve our Australian values, we must value every Australian, and Labor will govern for every Australian. Every Australian who wants a fair go at work, fair wages for their work, and the right to disconnect when they're done with work. Every Australian who deserves the security of a roof over their head or dreams of owning their own home. Every woman who wants her contribution to our economy and society to be valued equally. Every parent who wants their child to get the best start in life with cheaper childcare and with fair funding for every student in every school. Everyone who counts on the National Disability Insurance Scheme. We will be a government for every Australian who wants to train or retrain for new skills and a good job at public TAFE. Every Australian who works hard for the life-changing opportunity of higher education and wants 20% cut from their student debt. Every Australian who knows that climate change is a challenge we must act together to meet for the future of our environment. And knows the fact that renewable energy is an opportunity we must work together to seize for the future of our economy. We will be a government that supports reconciliation with First Nations people because we will be a stronger nation when we close the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians. And friends, we will be a government that relies and helps every Australian who relies on Medicare. Because this card This card is not Labor red or Liberal blue, it is green and gold. It is a declaration of our national values in our national colours. Medicare belongs to all Australians, and together we will make it stronger for all Australians. Friends, I stand here tonight as the proud leader of an extraordinary team. I stood on the hallowed turf of the G this morning, doing live crosses making that point. I want to thank all of my colleagues, beginning with my friend, our incredible Deputy Prime Minister, Richard Marles. No one could hope for a better deputy, and I thank him so much. My friend and our Senate leader, Penny Wong, and her deputy, Don Farrell, our economic team led by Jim Chalmers and Katie Gallagher, our campaign spokesperson Jason Clare, and we've got a bit of a shared party tonight, and Berkey's here, the member for Watson. My amazing Labor caucus, which when you look at it across the benches, it's representative of the Australian people. I acknowledge all of our fantastic Labor candidates in every seat who put up their hand, gave up their time for our cause and their community. And if you excuse me for singling out one of them who ran for a third time in Dixon, Ailey Frantz. So many of whom will be joining us as caucus members in Parliament. I want to thank the people of Grainler, most of whom are here tonight. I've got to say something. It was very special on the way here. There was obviously, I don't know whether there was a drone above us or what have you. My security team said, you know, maybe they're just out on the street. People don't just hang out on New Canterbury Road. And from Lilyfield, Leichhardt, all the way here, I'm sorry, but I won't be moving back for a little while. The people of Grainler did me an incredible honour in choosing me as their representatives 29 years and 10 elections ago. I've lived in this community in the inner west my whole life, and it's an incredible privilege to serve a community that you love, and I do love it. To the Labor Party's heart and soul, our rank and file members and the mighty trade union movement of Australia. The Labor Party will always stand up for jobs and people's wages and conditions. Everywhere I have been through this campaign, your energy, your enthusiasm, your dedication to the cause has lifted me up. You inspire all of us in your service of working people, and we thank you. To our magnificent campaign director, National Secretary Paul Erickson. Paul has run an outstanding campaign. Paul and I did tell people May was the right time. And he managed to become a dad during the campaign. He was supported by an absolutely brilliant team. And all of those dedicated people own a part of this victory. And I thank you. To my personal staff, led by Tim Gartrell. The loyalty, the passion, the commitment that you showed. You have a tough job that you perform with grace, with humour, with joy, and just a passion for changing the country for the better. Thank you for what you do. To my son Nathan, who's grown into a fine young man who I am just so proud of. Thank you. And to my fiancée, Jodie Hayden. Probably wasn't expecting for this to be in your life half a dozen years ago. I am so grateful for your support, your friendship and your love. You make me so happy. Which matters. You have my heart, I love you, and I look forward to living our lives together. My fellow Australians, Australians have chosen the Australian Labor Party as their government. And our government will choose the Australian way because we are proud of who we are and all that we have built together in this country. We do not need to beg or borrow or copy from anywhere else. We do not seek our inspiration overseas. We find it right here in our values and in our people. Tomorrow we dedicate ourselves to your service. We renew the great responsibility and the opportunity of government. And with pride and purpose, optimism and determination, with faith in the fair go and faith in each other, we return to the work of building Australia's future. Thank you all.